Russia. Peace with China. Peace with Russia. Peace with Russia. Peace with China. Peace with Russia. Peace with China. Peace with Russia. Peace with China. Peace with Russia.
We're not strong enough.
In the way, and he starts to opine on how it could be best used. He says, you know, if you ignite the bomb at it, give it out, and they cut him off. They say, it's okay, doctor. Go between 130,000 to 250,000 people dead because of these bombs, but we don't know. And they did use it. 78 years ago today, the United States of America dropped.
Nuclear war. I guess most of us here believe that nuclear war has never been really more of an imminent threat than it is today with the war in Ukraine. So we're demanding, first of all, stop the war in Ukraine. Most of us, I think, want to dismantle NATO completely because we view NATO as the expansion of NATO as kind of the origin of this, of the short-term threat that we face today, or at least have a totally renegotiated security architecture over Europe and Eurasia.
All right. Can you tell us why you're out here today?
We're out here to protest what's going on in Ukraine and then stop NATO's proxy war, because they're basically leading to World War III, and it's a situation that everyone should care about no matter what your politics are. So we're just here to stand in solidarity with everyone else who's standing against this, because, you know, being workers in the Imperial Corps, it's really our duty to stand against this. Stand with the people of Russia, with the people of Ukraine, with the people of the Donbass, and with the people of the world, because it's in everyone's interest to oppose this. You know, this conflict's in no one's interest besides the capitalists, besides the imperialists. So we're out here today to just say enough's enough, put an end to it. We are the Movement for People's Democracy, and we proudly support this message.
We're out here to try to prevent World War III. You know, we're getting closer to it every day, and there should be, I feel like, 1 million people at this protest, but at least we're here, you know? It's a shame that this is the direction that we're headed, but this is where we are.
They just want to keep escalating and escalating, and all they want is war. And we're here because we don't want war. And we want civilization to prosper and thrive.
The 78th anniversary of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, to stop a global Hiroshima. People all over the world, in cities on 3 continents, are gathered today to call for a negotiated solution to the war in Ukraine before it becomes World War III. A negotiated solution is possible. A peace deal was in fact already signed by Ukraine and Russia almost a year ago in Turkey. Boris Johnson and Joe Biden ordered Zelensky to tear that deal up. Everybody died in this war, every man, woman, and child. Since that peace treaty was signed and torn up, that blood is on the hands of our leaders. Nations all over the world are trying to negotiate a solution to this war. President Xi of China is trying to negotiate a solution. Pope Francis is trying to negotiate a solution. African heads of state, 7 of them, are traveling the world trying to negotiate a solution. But our leaders here in the United States will not allow it. We need to force them to allow it. This war has gone from a cold war to a proxy war to a hot war. We need to stop it before it becomes a nuclear war.
We're here today because we see that a third world war, and we're on the precipice of a third world war, and we want to say, and we want to stand up to say that we can press for peace. That the arms dealers and the global imperialists that control weapons and that rake in profits, that their stocks go up when the war gets worse, that they want to continue the war to rake in profits, that we as American citizens citizens have the right and the duty to demand better for our government, because we see our neighbors not as enemies, but as people that deserve respect, good jobs, economic security, the ability to buy houses. Our government doesn't care about Ukrainians. Our government does not care about Ukrainian citizens. And this war is not about justice, and it's not about peace, and it's not about human rights. It's actually about profits for a certain group of elite few. It's not about bringing justice to the world. So we are pressing for peace, and we ask everyday Americans to join us in standing for peace and not buying into the propaganda and the lies that's sponsored by Lockheed Martin, these lies that are sponsored by giant weapons manufacturers. We know the media is controlled by the CIA, by the intelligence agencies that are owned by global monopoly powers, by weapons manufacturers, by those that plunder everyday Americans out of their homes, that rip their jobs out from under them, that take their security and their economic peace of mind. This is all part of the same puzzle. So Americans, I call all of us to stand up. Your neighbor's not your enemy. Russia's not your enemy. China's not your enemy. Your enemies in Washington, they're working against you. They're collaborating and conspiring against you to make you to believe these lies. So stand up, join with your neighbors, talk to people, get informed. When does this conflict end? When did it start? It could have already ended. We had peace treaties, but there's people that don't want it to end.
So what's your name?
Hello, my name is Joe Jennings. I helped coordinate the rally that just concluded here in Houston today, sponsored by the umbrella group Humanity for Peace. This is August 6th, 2023, the anniversary of the horrific, genocidal, and militarily useless nuclear bombing of civilian population center, Hiroshima, Japan. It was an act of mass murder conducted by Harry Truman at the behest of Winston Churchill to establish Anglo-American dominance coming out of World War II. And that long-term policy has now caught up with us because their belief that increasing weapons to Ukraine, global South, the nations of Africa, Asia, and South America to aspire advancement and development. And failing to do that, we will have a thermonuclear war. Those are your choices, not Republican versus Democrat, not red versus blue. And I think we're going to have to make that decision before the next election. So one does not have the option of simply holding one's breath and keeping one's fingers crossed and waiting for the good man. You have to be the good man to bring about the change. Right. And that's our message from Houston, Texas today. We take our little inspiration from Sam Houston, who was commended by John F. Kennedy in his book, Profiles in Courage, for being a solitary man in the South standing up against slavery and the secessionism. We have to have the courage and independence of Sam Houston. Thank you.
Great day.